Hello, this is my week 4 assignment, building strengths and talents in your employees. In order to set the groundwork for my organization, I'd like to discuss this week's references and resources. The first one being Claudia Harser's presentation on positive psychology. The overarching theme in her presentation is that strengths matter. In every test and research sample that she conducted, it was revealed that strengths within the subjects mattered as to how they produced and completed their jobs and tasks. Secondly, Shane Lopez begins his presentation discussing the fact that we tend to concentrate more on our weaknesses rather than our strengths. And it was revealed through his research that when we concentrate on our strengths versus our weaknesses, we perform better. He suggests that we become strength spotters. The first way we can do that is to develop a strength mindset. The second thing we can do is catch people in the moment of their excellence. And third, we can begin naming and nurturing the strength that the person had to achieve the extraordinary. Next, Gallup introduces us to the success of Southwest Airlines. One of the colloquial terms that I found quite interesting was that Southwest refers to what makes them so successful as their secret sauce. So we call it the secret sauce of Southwest. And that is that they put employees first. That is their secret sauce. They teach that strength finding in the training. They make it a major part of even the first day of training. And they provide tools for employees to continue building on their strengths. They have found that when people are utilizing their strengths, they are more engaged and they give their best. Another tenet of Southwest philosophy that resonates with me is the following quote: "We don't want people to try to be somebody they aren't when they come to work. That's just exhausting. We want them to be able to learn how to aim who they are naturally in order to succeed at work." In their article, Shemero, Premusic, and Kushner write, "The ability to see talent before others see it, internally and externally, unlock human potential, and find not just the best employee for each role, but also the best role for each employee, is crucial to running a top-notch team." Furthermore, in the area of talent recruitment, Clifton and Harder write that there should be 4 criteria for successful hiring. 1, prior experiences and achievements. 2, innate tendencies. 3, multiple interviews. And 4, on-the-job observation. The findings of these scientists and researchers all go together to tell the story, or to tell the reason, show the reason why it's important to prioritize strengths and talent at work. Not only do you edify your workers, you also allow your company or your organization to reach its full potential by having the right people in the right positions. Whoa, what would happen if we studied what was right with people? Dr. Don Clifton. As I introduce my organization and how I would address and nurture and identify the strengths and talents of my teammates, I want to share that I view both students and teachers through the lens of this quote. As a fine arts coordinator, my primary focus is student growth and learning, and I also serve as a support to teachers. Therefore, my values for the organization are as follows. We are focused on teacher and student growth. When you grow, I grow, and we grow together. I believe this value statement highlights that we are all lifelong learners and that the philosophy of my organization is that we will continue to grow. And the expectation is not just for the student to grow, but also for the teachers and the staff to grow. When they grow, I will also seek growth in my own leadership and in my own strengths. The next aspect of my fine arts department that I'd like to discuss is the respectful engagement and communication. My organizational norms include timely responses to questions and concerns. Therefore, I'll have a 24-hour max for responses to emails and voicemails. Professional conversations should only occur via district provided email and modes of communication. And minimal professional communication should occur outside of the workday in order to provide work-life balance. Critical conversations will be held in person or video conference. Telephone conversations should only be held to schedule an in-person or video conference meeting, specifically when there's knowledge that the conversation is either personnel related or personally related, and would be labeled as a critical conversation where tone matters and would be absent from an email. In our textbook, Good Business, the author writes about harmony of the spheres being mentioned by musical performers as the particular order in consciousness they experience while playing. He goes on to say, it can merely be the satisfying sense that one belongs to an efficient group working toward the same purpose. I found it quite ironic that this quote would be in this week's learning, considering my organization is that of fine arts and specifically musical fine arts. And my organizational structure reflects the leadership structure that I would want to implement. First, we'd have the executive director, and then two coordinators of fine arts. And under those two coordinators, we would identify lead teachers so that we can develop leaders within the organization. I believe that iron sharpens iron, and that good leaders identify those with leadership capacity within the organization and grows those leaders to be even stronger in the classroom and outside of the classroom, providing them opportunities to grow and get a different perspective of the organization and their peers. Realizing that practitioners needed a long-term solution to what they had discovered as a short-term solution in strength finding and strength training, um, Biswas and Diner et al. Write, we believe this concern can be ameliorated in part by using the AID, attitude identification and development approach to strengths intervention. This method treats strengths as capacities for excellence rather than personality traits and thereby assumes the possibility of ongoing development. For the physical environment of my workplace, my organization, I want it to be collaborative and inspiring. I will have a workspace that encourages collaboration within the organization. There will be ample meeting space conducive for large and small groups. Technology will be state of the art as to not be a hindrance to the creativity and communication of the team. I want it to be inspiring. The performance and presentation areas will be state-of-the-art and awe-inspiring for performers, the attending public, and leaders. My goal is to create a space that allows all who enter to pursue their talents and abilities to the fullest extent. As I've gotten to know my teachers, students, and leaders within each of those groups, actually, the rewards, recognition, and appreciation has varied from the time that I was in the classroom only. I realized that time can be a reward. Therefore, for teachers, I would reward them by covering their classes, providing sub days, providing class coverage to allow them to have more time with their families, doing something completely unrelated to their job duties. For teachers' recognition and appreciation, teachers will be recognized for inspiring their peers and students to reach their fullest potential. The recognition will be for growth and accomplishments. For students, students will be recognized for their growth and accomplishment, and they will also recognize the instructors who inspired their journey. For the leaders within the organization, they will be recognized and appreciated for their contribution to the group and to the organization. Staff and students will have the opportunity to influence who the recipients are for these awards and recognition. Lastly, we'll talk about leadership qualities and behavior. I believe that leaders should lead by example. Therefore, our behavior should exemplify all of the expectations that we have of our fellow leaders as well as our subordinates, and in my organization, students. As far as leadership development and strength development, Gallup says and suggests that employees in today's workforce expect their managers to coach them primarily based on their strengths. Clifton and Harder, 2019. It is my current practice, and I intend on it being my continued practice, to identify the strengths of those who I lead, help them expand those strengths, and use those strengths to the best of their ability in order to effectively teach the students who they are charged with teaching every single day. Furthermore, those who have the capacity to lead, I want to give them opportunities to lead others so that as I matriculate through the organization and hopefully one day become the executive director, I'm training my replacements and they're training their replacements. And so we have a continuous um, wheel, if you will, of leaders, of people who are seeking their strengths and utilizing their strengths for the betterment of the organization. In conclusion, we've talked about values, respectful engagement and communication, organizational structure, interpersonal helping, physical environment, rewards, recognition, appreciation, leadership qualities and behaviors, and how our strengths can help the organization thrive. It is my hope and my goal as a leader to not only find the strengths of those I lead, but to help them find their own strengths, identify those strengths, and help them utilize those strengths to the best of their ability and for the greater good of the organization. But most importantly, for their own engagement within the organization and beyond.